Picture this, it's 1867. The US is still recovering from a nasty little thing called the Civil War, a conflict that tore the nation apart. And Secretary of State William Seward is about to spend a whopping $7.2 million on, wait for it, Alaska. That's right, folks, a giant chunk of ice and snow, a land so remote and cold that many couldn't fathom its value. Now you might be thinking, $7 million for a freezer aisle the size of a continent. What were they smoking? And you wouldn't be alone. The skepticism was widespread. Back then, folks called it Seward's Folly, or Seward's icebox. They thought it was a colossal mistake. They figured he'd lost his mind. Little did they know, this so-called folly would turn out to be a goldmine, literally and figuratively. The deal went down on March 30th, and just like that, America got a whole lot bigger. 586,412 square miles bigger, to be exact. That's a massive addition to the country. That's like buying Manhattan for the price of a hot dog. Imagine the sheer scale of that acquisition. Okay, maybe not that cheap, but you get the idea. It was a steal. And today, Alaska is invaluable, rich in natural resources and stunning landscapes. Fear and loathing in the North Pacific. The vast, icy expanse of Alaska was a land of mystery and danger. So why would Russia part with such a massive piece of real estate? What could possibly drive them to sell off such a significant territory? Well, for starters, they were a little preoccupied. You see, those wacky Russians had just lost the Crimean War and were feeling a bit vulnerable. The defeat had left them licking their wounds and reconsidering their strategic positions. They were worried about a potential British invasion of Alaska and figured, hey, why not sell it to the Americans? At least we'll get some cash out of it. Better to have some money in the coffers than risk losing it all to the British. Plus, let's be honest, Alaska wasn't exactly the Caribbean back then. It was a harsh, cold, and largely unexplored territory. It was a wild, untamed land populated by, well, not a whole lot of Russians. The indigenous populations were the primary inhabitants, and Russian settlements were sparse and isolated. The fur trade, once booming, was starting to dwindle. The once lucrative business was no longer as profitable as it had been in the past. So Russia saw an opportunity, unload a financial burden and stick it to the Brits at the same time. Tsar Alexander II and his advisors decided it was a strategic move to sell Alaska to the United States. It was a win-win. Except, of course, for the whole losing a massive chunk of territory thing. But hey, nobody's perfect. In the end, the sale of Alaska was a complex decision driven by economic, political, and strategic factors. Back in the US, the public wasn't exactly thrilled with Seward's big purchase. Newspapers mocked him mercilessly, calling it Seward's Folly and Seward's icebox. They couldn't fathom why anyone would want a frozen wasteland. Politicians called for his head, figuratively of course. They thought it was a colossal waste of money, $7.2 million for what they saw as a barren, icy wilderness. But Seward, he had a vision, man. He saw Alaska's strategic importance, its vast resources, its potential. He believed in the untapped wealth of its natural resources like fur, fish, and later gold. He knew that controlling the Pacific was the future, and Alaska was the key. Its location was perfect for expanding American influence and trade routes across the Pacific. He just couldn't convince everyone else. Not yet, anyway. The public and many politicians remained skeptical, unable to see beyond the immediate cost. But Seward, bless his stubborn little heart, he persevered. He was determined to prove them wrong, to show that his vision was not just a dream, but a strategic masterstroke. He fought tooth and nail to get the deal through Congress, even pulling an all-nighter to convince skeptical senators. He used every ounce of his political skill and influence. And you know what? It worked. His relentless efforts paid off. The Senate ratified the treaty, and Alaska officially became American. What was once mocked as a foolish purchase turned out to be one of the greatest deals in American history. As we journey through the history of Alaska, it's clear that this vast land has proven its worth time and time again. From the gold rushes that drew thousands seeking fortune, to the rich oil reserves discovered in the 20th century, Alaska has continually demonstrated its immense value. But it's not just about resources. The natural beauty and unique wildlife have made it a destination for adventurers and nature lovers alike. The legacy of Alaska, however, goes beyond its economic contributions. It's a place where indigenous cultures have thrived for thousands of years, maintaining traditions and wisdom that are invaluable to our collective heritage. The state's commitment to preserving its natural environment has set an example for conservation efforts worldwide. And let's not forget, Alaska's strategic importance during World War II played a crucial role in the defense of North America. So, as we reflect on Alaska's rich history and enduring legacy, it's essential to recognize the importance of preserving this remarkable place for future generations. Whether you're drawn to its economic potential, cultural significance, or breathtaking landscapes, Alaska offers something for everyone. We encourage you to explore, learn, and become a part of Alaska's ongoing story. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.